So it's time to bring back the 60s. I enjoy listening to these conservative talk shows on radio saying the inmates are running the asylum at the University of Missouri because the 32 football players said they wouldn't play unless the campus president resigned, which he did, also in charge of the entire Missouri University system. And the chancellor said he will resign at the end of the year. While there were racial tensions, some racial incidents on campus with black victims, and the protesters and the kids thought the university higher-ups were too silent, insensitive, didn't do enough about the problem. So they said, hey, we're not going to play. Coaches went along with them, and they said, all right, you win. Now, people have said that the inmates have taken over, they're spoiled rotten. The 60s protesters have taken over and taught the kids a bunch of mush. And I just laugh because I've been on a conservative station for 12 years. I had protesters on the right always complaining about nude beaches in Mazomanie, ruining the kids, too much smut on TV. We should clean up the cable. We shouldn't have telemarketers calling us during the dinner hour. It goes on and on. Shouldn't have the Sarah Has Two Mommies posters in the school library. Those protests were just legitimate, righteous outrage. But if you protest on the other side, you are an inmate running the asylum. After all, the British and the Tories back in revolutionary times thought the Tea Party participants in 1773 were throwing a tantrum. They were adolescents. You see, another man's protest is someone else's tantrum. I mean, protesting is fine. Mahatma Gandhi did that against the British. They gave up their colony in India. Martin Luther King did direct action in the street protests to speed up the civil rights movement. After all, his predecessors had done it through legal channels for decades, and they were still sitting at separate restrooms. If you think the kids in Missouri overstepped their bounds, they had to face the consequences of civil disobedience, which means the football players could have lost their scholarships by refusing to play, but the coaches and administrators caved. You don't blame protesters for winning, you blame the higher-ups for losing. Quit whining. Protesting won this time. It's because the other side let it happen. My 2 cents. My 2 minutes are brought to you by Edge Construction and Capital Consultants, Bill McCoshen, a lobbyist downtown who gets things done. We can talk about this and other issues on the radio tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock on 92.1 FM The Mic, The Mitch Henck Show. Talk to you then.